Did you know that in just the first week of January, over 2,800 drivers in Texas were fined under laws they didn't even know existed? That's right, 2026 has barely started, and drivers across the state are already losing thousands of dollars to new rules, hidden fines, and zero-warning citations. It's not just about speeding anymore. Even stopping at a red light the wrong way could now cost you. Some of these new laws are so specific they feel like traps. Others, they're buried so deep in legal updates that most Texans won't find out until it's too late, when the ticket shows up in the mail, or worse, when their license gets suspended. And here's the kicker. Most of these rules took effect overnight with little to no public warning. So before you get behind the wheel this week, stick around, because knowing these 10 new laws could be the only thing that saves you from a massive financial hit.
Number 1. Crack down on smartphone use at red lights. You're stopped at a red light. You glance at your phone, maybe to check a message, change the song, or scroll for just a second. No harm done, right? Well, not anymore. As of January 2026, Texas has made it illegal to use your phone even while your vehicle is completely stopped at a red light or stop sign. This change comes from an updated interpretation of Texas Transportation Code Section 545, and it's already catching drivers off guard. The law used to apply mainly when a vehicle was moving, but now, if your engine is running and you're on a public road, you're considered actively operating the vehicle, even if you're stuck in traffic or waiting for the light to change. The penalties? A $500 fine for the first offense and up to $1,000 plus court fees for repeat violations. And here's where it gets worse. Some counties are treating this as a moving violation, which means it could increase your insurance rates or add points to your license. What's really catching people by surprise is how strictly this is being enforced. In many urban areas, cameras at intersections and even officers in unmarked cars are being used to catch distracted drivers. That harmless text at a red light, it could now cost you more than your monthly phone bill. Your best bet? Activate Do Not Disturb While Driving mode. Keep your phone mounted and only use hands-free commands if absolutely necessary. If it's urgent, pull over safely and then check your phone. This law may sound extreme, but its goal is clear. Cut down on distracted driving at all times, even when you're not moving. The roads are watching now, even when you think they're not.
Number 2. Hidden speed limit sensors in urban areas. Imagine cruising through your neighborhood, music playing, just a few miles over the speed limit. You didn't see any cops, no flashing lights, so you think you're fine. Then, 3 days later, a $750 fine shows up in your mailbox. No warning, no mercy. Just a brutal reality check. You got caught by an AI-powered speed sensor. Starting January 2026, Texas has rolled out a wave of hidden speed monitoring systems in over 40 urban and suburban areas, with more coming. These aren't your old-school speed traps. We're talking about smart poles, roadside cameras, and underground sensors that automatically detect your speed, snap your plate, and generate a ticket without a single officer in sight. What makes this even more dangerous is the lack of warning. There are no flashing signs, no speed radar warnings, just silent, invisible enforcement. And since these are civil citations, many drivers don't realize they've been fined until it's too late to contest or avoid late fees. Even going 5 to 7 miles per hour over the posted limit in these zones can trigger an automatic ticket. In some areas, the fines double during school hours or high pedestrian times, and they stack up fast. So how can you protect yourself? Start by assuming every major intersection and busy road is monitored. Stick to the exact posted limit, not just close enough. You can also check city or county transportation websites. Some publish maps of active sensor zones, though they don't advertise them widely. This isn't about catching speed demons anymore. It's about controlling even minor violations and generating revenue through automation. If you're not paying attention, your wallet will be. Number 3. Strict new penalties for expired registration. Let's be honest, expired registration is one of those things most drivers don't panic about. You notice the sticker's a little out of date, tell yourself you'll handle it this weekend, and keep driving. But in January 2026, that small delay just became a very expensive mistake. Under the updated Texas enforcement rules, driving with an expired registration is no longer treated as a minor oversight. It's now classified as a Class C misdemeanor, and in some counties, officers are required to issue a citation on the spot. No warnings, no grace period. Even being 1 day late can trigger a fine. Here's where it really hurts. Fines can reach up to $2,000, especially if your registration has been expired for more than 60 days. On top of that, your vehicle can be flagged in the system, meaning future stops are more likely, even for unrelated issues. Some drivers are also facing vehicle impoundment if combined with other violations, like lack of insurance. And enforcement has gone high-tech. Texas now uses automatic license plate readers mounted on patrol cars, traffic lights, and parking enforcement vehicles. These systems instantly detect expired tags while you're driving or even parked. You don't have to get pulled over anymore. The system already knows. What makes this law especially dangerous is how easy it is to forget. Life gets busy, emails get ignored, mail gets lost, but the system doesn't care, and late fees stack fast, along with reinstatement costs if your registration is suspended. The solution is simple but critical. Set digital reminders, enroll in online renewal, and double-check that your inspection and insurance are current, because missing one can block renewal entirely. This isn't about paperwork anymore. In 2026, an expired sticker isn't just embarrassing, it's a financial landmine waiting to explode.
Number 4. Enhanced penalties for not slowing near emergency vehicles. You see flashing lights ahead, an ambulance, a police cruiser, maybe a tow truck on the side of the road. You stay in your lane and keep driving, maybe slowing down a little. But starting in January 2026, that's no longer enough. In fact, doing just that could now cost you up to $2,000 or worse. Texas has significantly expanded the move over, slow down law, and the rules are stricter than ever. It's no longer just police, fire, and EMS vehicles. The law now includes tow trucks, utility crews, TX vehicles, and even sanitation trucks with flashing lights. If you fail to either move one lane over or slow down by at least 20 miles per hour below the speed limit, you're breaking the law. And enforcement? It's aggressive. Dash cam footage, traffic camera data, and even witness reports can now be used to issue citations even after the fact. Some counties have task forces patrolling high-risk zones specifically to catch drivers who ignore this rule. Beyond the fine, if your actions cause a crash or even a near miss, you could be charged with reckless endangerment or, in severe cases, face criminal penalties. This isn't just about money, it's about protecting lives. Think about it. Emergency workers are stepping out on busy highways, often with only inches between them in fast-moving traffic. One distracted or careless driver can turn a roadside stop into a tragedy. And now, Texas law is making sure there's a real cost for ignoring that risk. So, what should you do? The moment you see flashing lights, signal, move over safely, or drop your speed significantly. Don't wait until the last second. In 2026, hesitation isn't just dangerous, it's legally and financially devastating.
Number 5. Insurance grace period shrinks. Picture this. Your auto insurance payment is a few days late. Maybe your card expired, maybe the reminder got lost in your inbox. No big deal, right? You've got time to fix it, right? Not anymore. As of January 2026, Texas has cut the grace period for lapsed auto insurance coverage from 20 days down to just 7. That means if your policy lapses, even by a single week, you could face immediate consequences. Your vehicle registration can be automatically suspended, and reinstating it could cost you up to $350 in fees. And it doesn't stop there. A gap in coverage, even a short one, can flag your account in the statewide database, leading to increased insurance premiums, possible license suspension, and even points on your driving record, depending on your situation. In some cases, law enforcement may impound your vehicle during a routine traffic stop if your coverage isn't active at the time. Here's the part that's catching drivers off guard. Many insurance companies don't report a lapse until it's already too late. By the time you receive that missed payment notice, the DMV has already been notified and your name is flagged in the system. So what can you do? First, enable autopay and set multiple reminders: email, calendar, phone. Second, if your policy gets canceled, do not drive until it's reinstated and officially recorded in the state system. Even one quick trip to the store could turn into an expensive mistake. In 2026, Texas isn't leaving room for error when it comes to insurance. It's not just about staying covered, it's about staying proactively protected. Because one overlooked payment now has the power to derail your driving privileges and drain your wallet overnight. If this video helped you, please support the channel by hitting subscribe. It's just one click, but it means the world to us and helps us keep creating content that protects drivers like you.
Number 6. Zero tolerance for modified exhaust systems. If your car roars like a race car or pops like fireworks when you accelerate, listen up. Texas is cracking down hard, and the penalties are steep. As of January 2026, the state has implemented a zero-tolerance policy on modified exhaust systems. That means if your vehicle has aftermarket mufflers, straight pipes, or any system that causes excessive noise, you could be slapped with a $1,000 fine on the spot. And get this, there are no warnings, no fix-it tickets, and no second chances. Officers are instructed to cite immediately if the sound exceeds acceptable decibel levels. This law was pushed forward due to a surge in noise complaints, especially in residential areas, near schools, and downtown zones. According to city reports, many communities have seen a spike in aggressive driving behaviors tied to loud vehicles, prompting state lawmakers to act fast and harshly. What's more concerning? You don't even have to be racing or showing off. Just starting your car in the wrong neighborhood at the wrong time could trigger a citation. And yes, even parked cars can be targeted if they're heard from a certain distance. Law enforcement is now equipped with handheld decibel meters, and some urban areas are installing noise-activated cameras that record your plate and automatically issue tickets if your car exceeds the limit. If you're into car mods, this is a major wake-up call. It's not just about sound, it's now a legal and financial liability. Even cars that were once considered street legal might now be in violation under the new statewide noise thresholds. Bottom line, if your exhaust system isn't factory standard or specifically certified to meet the new limits, you're taking a serious risk, one that could cost you more than just money. It could also cost you your right to drive.
Number 7. School zone cameras, fully automated citations. Think you're safe just because no cop is around? Think again. Starting in January 2026, Texas school zones are now equipped with fully automated speed enforcement cameras, and they're handing out tickets like candy. This isn't a test run. These cameras are live, active, and unforgiving. If you're even 1 mile per hour over the limit in a school zone, especially during pickup or drop-off hours, you could receive a ticket of up to $1,250 straight to your mailbox. No sirens, no flashing lights. You won't even know it happened until it's too late. The new system uses high-resolution cameras and radar sensors to track every passing car. If you're caught speeding, the camera captures your license plate, time, date, and even weather conditions to ensure the ticket sticks. There's no human officer to argue with, and appeals are rarely successful unless there's clear proof of an error. What's more, the system operates during school hours, after-school programs, and even weekend events. So just because it's not 8 a.m. on a weekday doesn't mean the cameras are off. In fact, many schools run extended programs that trigger the camera zones for up to 12 hours a day. And here's a harsh twist.
multiple violations can be issued in a single day. If you pass through the same school zone twice while speeding, 2 tickets. That's over $2,000 in fines for what feels like a minor mistake. To avoid getting trapped, you need to memorize school zone times in your area, slow down before entering, and watch for signs, even temporary ones. And always assume the cameras are recording, because most of them are. In 2026, there's no such thing as "I didn't see the cop." The cameras are the cops now, and they don't miss a thing.
Number 8. New penalty for left lane hogging. We've all seen it, or maybe done it ourselves, cruising in the left lane even when you're not passing anyone. Seems harmless, right? But in 2026, that simple habit just became a costly mistake in Texas. Under the new traffic enforcement rules, it is now a ticketable offense to stay in the left lane without actively passing another vehicle on highways or multi-lane roads. This rule isn't entirely new, but what's changed is how aggressively it's now being enforced. Texas DPS and local law enforcement have officially labeled left lane hogging as a major traffic flow disruptor, and the fines are nothing to ignore. Drivers can now face penalties ranging from $200 to $600, even if they're driving the speed limit. The law prioritizes lane discipline, especially on highways where traffic needs to flow efficiently. Blocking the passing lane, even unintentionally, is now treated like impeding traffic or reckless driving, especially if it causes congestion or leads to aggressive behavior from other drivers. What's worse, if you're caught doing this multiple times, it could result in points on your license or even increased insurance rates due to the classification of the violation. The rule is simple: keep right, pass left. Unless you're actively overtaking another vehicle, you should be in the right or center lanes. This includes road trips, city bypasses, and everyday commutes, no exceptions. The left lane is now legally considered a passing-only lane, not a cruising lane. So, if you're the kind of driver who sets cruise control and stays in the fast lane just because, it's time to change that habit. In 2026, staying in the left lane too long won't just annoy other drivers, it could drain your wallet and damage your record. Number 9. Failure to yield to pedestrians, civil liability alert. Crosswalks might seem like minor details when you're driving, until they cost you thousands of dollars, even if no one gets hurt. Starting in January 2026, Texas has introduced a powerful new legal twist. Failing to yield to a pedestrian can now make you civilly liable, regardless of whether there was an actual accident. Here's what that means. If you're caught not stopping or slowing down for a pedestrian who has the right-of-way, you could face a ticket on the spot, points on your license, increased insurance rates, court costs, and on top of that, a potential lawsuit. Even if the pedestrian wasn't injured, they can now sue for emotional distress, negligence, or endangerment. And yes, some are already doing it. It's part of a broader state effort to reduce rising pedestrian deaths, especially in urban areas where crosswalk violations have surged. According to recent reports, pedestrian fatalities in Texas rose by over 20% in the last 2 years, prompting lawmakers to tighten accountability. What makes this rule especially dangerous is that many drivers don't realize when they're in the wrong. For example, if someone is already crossing at an unmarked intersection or about to enter a marked crosswalk, the law requires you to stop or yield, even if the pedestrian is still on the sidewalk. If you don't, and they file a report where there's camera evidence, you could be held fully responsible in civil court. To stay protected, always treat crosswalks and intersections as high alert zones. Slow down, make eye contact with pedestrians, and never assume they'll stop for you. In 2026, it's not just about avoiding a ticket, it's about avoiding a lawsuit that could follow you for years.
Number 10. DUI threshold lowered for drivers under 25. If you're under 25 and think just one drink is no big deal, think again. As of January 2026, Texas has lowered the legal blood alcohol concentration, or BAC limit, for drivers under the age of 25 from 0.08 to 0.04. That's right, half the standard legal limit. For some people, that could mean just one beer or a single glass of wine. This change comes in response to a disturbing rise in alcohol-related crashes involving younger drivers. According to DPS data, nearly one-third of DUI incidents in Texas in the past 2 years involved drivers under 25. Lawmakers have decided it's time for stricter standards, and enforcement is already underway. What makes this law so risky is how easy it is to cross the new limit. You don't have to feel drunk. You don't have to be swerving. If you're pulled over and blow even 0.05, you're considered legally impaired, and the consequences are serious. Automatic license suspension, up to $2,000 in fines, mandatory alcohol education programs, and possible jail time for repeat offenses. What's worse? A DUI conviction at a young age can ruin job prospects, spike your insurance rates, and stay on your record for years, even decades. And here's a harsh truth. Officers now have more freedom to conduct sobriety checks, especially near college campuses, entertainment districts, and late-night hotspots. You don't have to be acting suspicious. If you're behind the wheel and under 25, you're already under the microscope. So, what's the smartest move? Don't risk it. Call a rideshare, designate a driver, or simply wait it out. In 2026, if you're under 25, there's really only one safe limit: 0.
The road may look the same in 2026, but make no mistake, everything has changed. These new Texas driving laws aren't just minor policy updates. They're part of a much larger shift toward automated enforcement, zero-tolerance policies, and harsh financial penalties for even small mistakes. From automated school zone cameras to hidden speed sensors and lowered DUI thresholds, it's no longer enough to simply drive safe. You need to be hyper-aware of the rules, the tech, and the traps. What's most alarming is how quietly these laws rolled out. Many drivers have no idea they're one stoplight glance or sticker renewal away from a $1,000 fine or worse. And the consequences aren't just financial. We're talking about license suspensions, legal trouble, and long-term impacts on your insurance and driving record. But here's the truth. Knowledge is your best defense. By watching this video, you've already taken the most important step: staying informed. You now know what to watch for, what to avoid, and how to protect yourself behind the wheel in 2026. So whether you're 18 or 58, a daily commuter or a weekend driver, don't assume what was okay last year is still safe today. Because this year, even the smallest mistake can lead to massive consequences. Stay alert, stay smart, and stay one step ahead.